we're venturing into a really dynamic space. Maybe unexpected for some. It's where AI meets children's content creation. We're talking about these new AI tools, the ones specifically designed, to generate educational stuff, entertainment material for kids. Now, you've given us some fascinating material to dig into here. It's focused on one particular tool, KidsTale AI. So our mission today, well, it's to go beyond just the marketing hype, right? We want to really explore what this tech actually promises. What's the market it's aiming for? And, what are the real opportunities and maybe the hidden challenges too for creators, parents, educators, everyone involved. Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. We're basically dissecting how a tool like KidsTale AI says it can simplify making kids content. And meaning that maybe unlock totally new ways to engage kids or even start a business. Right, let's start with the market, the why behind all this. Our source material jumps right in with this pretty bold claim. $1 billion untapped gold mine of kids' story videos.
Wow, that's definitely designed to grab your attention. But you got to ask, right? How much of that is really untapped? And what's making this market supposedly so lucrative now? The source pushes this idea of huge demand. It says, millions of parents, teachers, and content creators search daily for kids' story videos. And then this very optimistic formula, zero competition plus exploding demand, perfect chance for you.
Yeah, that $1 billion untapped goldmine phrase. It kind of flags two things straight away. First, the scale. The kids' content market is massive, no doubt. The source mentions kids' videos possibly being the hashtag $1 billion market on YouTube soon, like 2025.
Yeah.
Billions of views daily, fastest growing channels. It's all there. But the untapped part, I think for someone who knows the space, it's less about no content being there and more about a new way of making it, a new entry point, and zero competition. It can't literally mean no Cocomelon, right? It likely means little competition for the specific type of AI-driven, super scalable content creation. It's about a new method, not an empty playground.
Okay, that makes more sense. And you mentioned the established giants.
Yeah.
They definitely show the potential. The source points to Cocomelon, over $120 million a year, nearly 100 million subscribers. That's huge. Then Pinkfong, Baby Shark, 82.8 million subs, tens of billions of views, and Little Baby Bum, apparently a brand empire worth over $250 million. The source calls them global empires. And yeah, looking at those numbers, it fits. What does that tell us about the core appeal here?
Well, what's really fascinating, I think, isn't just the money, it's the psychology of the young audience. Unlike us adults, maybe, always looking for the next new thing, kids often love repetition. They'll watch the same video again and again and again. So you get this evergreen addiction. A single hit video doesn't just get viewed once. It gets viewed maybe hundreds of times by the same kid, multiplying views, multiplying ad revenue over time. Plus, this niche often has a high CPM cost per mil. Advertisers pay more per 1,000 views. Combine that with other income streams, merch, licensing, direct sales, and yeah, it looks really attractive if you want sustainable income.
All right, so the market's clearly fertile ground, super high engagement, high value. So the next big question is how AI claims it can help you farm it, basically. Our source talks about this tool, KidsTale AI, making some really bold claims, like being the world's first AI app that magically creates kids' story videos in just 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
That's a dramatic cut in production time compared to traditional methods. And it's not just the speed they're selling, it's the ease of use. No editing, no monthly fees, no experience needed. That message, it targets a massive group, doesn't it? Busy parents, maybe teachers, aspiring creators who, don't have animation skills or video editing chops. It's claiming total democratization.
Exactly. And the 3-step process they advertise, it's presented as incredibly simple, almost like a push-button solution. Step 1, enter any idea or pick a prompt. So it tries to solve that blank page problem right away. Type unicorn adventure or pick something from their list. Step 2 is where the AI supposedly works its magic. Watch AI turn stories into scenes. It claims to automate, pretty much everything. Breaking down the story, finding visuals, adding a voiceover, maybe even rhyming background music, subtitles, all apparently done in one click, which, if true,
yeah, that's a huge shift.
It really is. I mean, someone with zero technical background could potentially generate fairly complex multimedia stuff. Yeah. And then step 3 is just post and profit. The video's ready in minutes, good to go.
And they stress it's not just, a basic output. The source says it magically turns any idea into story videos that kids love to watch and leaves a lasting impact. Packed with narration or rhyming stories, stunning scenes, AI voices, music, 50-plus DFY templates, and more. So the ambition seems to be for a polished, engaging final product. Straight out of the AI, no tweaking needed. Okay, let's dig into the what then. The actual features, the creative options. What kinds of stories can this thing supposedly generate? The list is pretty broad, covers all the classic kid stuff. Fairy tales, magical creatures, superheroes and mini-heroes, talking animals, bedtime stories, dinosaurs, funny family life, kindness and friendship, space adventures, rhyming, and more. It sounds quite comprehensive. And it also mentions 25 most trending kids story categories, suggesting it tries to stay current.
Yeah. And one feature that really stands out, I think, is the language capability. Being able to create videos in any language using 1,500 plus premium AI voices in 80 plus languages, that's powerful. Plus the 50 plus kids themed background music and sound effects. This isn't just a tech spec, it's strategic. It means you could target niche language markets globally. Think about the cost of doing that traditionally hiring voice actors, translators, huge barrier. This potentially lets creators make localized content at a scale we haven't really seen before. Huge potential reach.
Definitely opens up global possibilities. And what else? Other features. It mentions auto-generated subtitles. That's good for accessibility, SEO too, probably. A kids icon library for adding characters, visuals, 50 plus ready-made kids story video templates if you need a starting point. And, oh yeah, the option to merge kids short story videos to make long-form videos, so you get flexibility on length.
Right, and all these features feed into that big promise of zero tech or editing skills needed, which leads to their claim of replacing other expensive tools. They name names: Hagen, Synthesia, DID, InVideo, Runway ML, Canva. No, hold on. Is it really going to replace all of those for every use case? Probably not. Professional animators using Runway or folks doing complex edits in InVideo, they likely need more control. But the positioning seems to be, for this specific task, creating these AI-driven kids story videos, KidsTale AI aims to be the all-in-one box, so you don't need to juggle multiple tools and subscriptions for this particular kind of content. It's about streamlining that workflow.
Gotcha. It's simplifying one specific, potentially very profitable workflow. Okay, so we see the market, we see the claimed magic process. Let's talk money, monetization. How does the source say you can actually earn from this? It sounds like more than just making videos for fun.
Well, the most direct route mentioned is the platforms themselves, YouTube primarily. The tool claims it can auto-post videos on any YouTube channel to explode it with millions of views, subscribers, and commissions. Big claim there. And crucially, they highlight being 100% YouTube monetization friendly. That's key, given YouTube's rules.
Absolutely. But it goes beyond just YouTube ad revenue, which is interesting. The source suggests selling the videos directly, like sell these in-demand kids videos on Etsy, Gumroad, Fiverr, and more for $5,500 each. Target customers, other YouTubers, parents, teachers, content creators, basically anyone needing kids content. Now that $5,500 price point for a 2-minute AI video, that feels ambitious. Maybe for highly personalized or niche stuff.
Yeah, that price range raises an eyebrow, but the idea is they're selling it as a product. Right. And it scales up from there. Launch your own kids story video agency. Offer bespoke videos, personalized birthday stories maybe, or monthly content packages for schools or daycare centers, creating recurring revenue. Again, the feasibility depends on the actual output quality versus client expectations, but the model is clear.
And there's even more mentioned. Promoting affiliate offers within the videos, licensing bundles of stories, reselling branded packages, selling ready-made video packs on places like Gumroad or Warrior Plus. It really paints a picture of a whole business ecosystem built around this tool.
And the crucial enabler for all that agency selling stuff is the commercial license they include. That's key. It explicitly says you can offer red-hot short video creation services and keep 100% of the profits. So it's not just a creator tool. It's pitched as a business in a box, essentially, using the AI as your production engine for a service business.
Right, turning the user from just a creator into potentially an entrepreneur. Okay, let's shift to the decision phase. Why would someone choose this? The source directly addresses the pain points, the things that stop people. It calls it the hard truth fact is. Problems like, well, just not knowing what story to tell. Big one. Or finding that writing, editing, and voiceovers take too long, that times suck. Then there's the cost and complexity. Other tools in AI platforms are expensive and complex. Plus, personal barriers like camera shyness, or finding that outsourcing is a nightmare, and just uncertainty. Unsure what actually works, or knowing that posting one video isn't enough, the consistency challenge, it really lays out the common roadblocks for aspiring creators.
And KidsTale AI is positioned, unsurprisingly, as the direct answer to all of those problems. It's framed as this hard and easy way versus the hard and expensive way. The promise is automating pretty much everything: story ideas, visuals, audio, even publishing, making it 100% hands-free. So if it delivers on that promise, it removes the need for scripting skills, editing software, expensive subscriptions, being on camera, recording voiceovers. It tackles the idea block, the time constraint, the cost barrier, the technical complexity. The big if, of course, is always how well the AI actually performs these tasks creatively and consistently, especially for kids who can be surprisingly discerning.
True. And to lower the barrier even further, they mentioned the pricing model, a low one-time payment lifetime account, and a 30-day money-back guarantee. These are sales tactics, sure, but functionally they reduce the risk for someone thinking of trying it out, right? Makes it easier to jump in compared to a hefty monthly subscription.
Exactly. It's about removing friction and connecting that to the bigger picture. The goal seems to be democratizing access to this kids' content market.
Yeah.
By automating so much, it theoretically lets, everyday creators, people without big budgets or tech skills, compete in a space that used to require significant resources. It's not just making content creation easier, it's potentially changing who gets to be a creator in this very lucrative niche, which is, well, it's a pretty significant potential shift.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. Summarize what we've explored. We started with this massive, apparently booming market for kids' video content. Billions of dollars, huge demand. We looked at the hurdles, the creative blocks, the technical challenges, the time, the cost that often stop people from getting involved. And then we unpacked how this tool, KidsTale Ai, claims to be an all-in-one AI-powered solution, promising to break down those barriers and open up ways to make money, from YouTube ads to running a full agency.
So what does it all mean, big picture? I think the rise of these kinds of AI tools, especially in very specific high-demand areas like kids' content, it signals a fundamental change. It's not just about automation. It's potentially enabling a whole new wave of creators, people who lack the traditional skills or money, to become players, even entrepreneurs. It really makes you think about what the digital content landscape will look like in a few years. Who's making the content? How is it being made?
Indeed. And that leaves us, and you listening, with maybe a provocative thought to chew on. As AI makes creating content, especially kids' content, potentially so much faster and easier, what happens next? How might this sheer volume of new AI-generated content impact things like kids' attention spans? What about overall content quality? And what does it mean for the digital ecosystem our youngest audiences are growing up in? Something to consider. Thanks again for providing some interesting source material for this deep dive. We definitely encourage you to keep exploring this fast-moving world of AI and creativity.